If you are feeling like you are still in kind of some sort of isolation phase, if you are, you're out and about, but then you feel like you're still being pulled back into that isolation, if you're feeling a little bit separate from the things outside of you right now, the people outside of you, just know that that is for a reason. And I'm not here to tell you that, you got magical powers and you are of this super high, you've got this super elite purpose. I'm not here to say any of that shit to you. What I am here to say to you is that it's not God, it's not the universe, nothing outside of you stopping you from doing anything because you need to be here and reflect. It is your own self. It's yourself, your truest essence, that knows more than your mind does. And yourself knowing that your mind needs to comprehend and understand more of the self, if that makes sense. So it's you needing to be put in a place where you can understand more of yourself so that you can show up as the growth and as the full being that you are. So for myself, I'm in a place where I had a few videos recent to this. If you haven't seen it already, go ahead and have a look. Basically saying that I'm calling myself back home to myself. I'm calling my truth back to myself. I have been on my spiritual journey for years now, and being able to be within the spiritual community really brought me comfort in times where I felt really shooken up, in times through, past awakenings where I felt like nobody understood. It was good to have community. We as human beings, it is our nature to want to have connection, and to feel a part of something and to be a part of a community. But I think that within doing this, and of course, the more that the community expands, it can, even spirituality itself being rooted in the freedom, of experience and expression, it can become its own kind of religion. It's like building a culture within the community of, like, sometimes with people stepping in with their ego and feeling like this is the way. As soon as you have anything that objectifies something and makes it the way, you strip away all freedom from that within defining what is supposed to be rather than what just is, So with that said, hopefully that makes sense. My mind's a bit all over the place today, you guys, because I have energies coming in. I've got a lot of stuff going on, but also I haven't had enough sleep. So, but yes, with that said, I've said in previous videos that I have kind of stripped back. I've stepped back from my spiritual practices. I've stepped back from the things that I thought to be true, that I thought this is the way and this is how you do it. I've stepped back from all of that, and I've stepped back from anything outside of myself. And I only respond to what is inside of myself. So I know that God is within me, God is within all of us, God is within every single atom and particle in the physical and outside of the physical. That is my truth and my belief. But I have stepped back from the objectified and stepped back into the absolute. And I'm now, with that perspective and reclamation of my own power, I am now defining my own truth, moving forward. So with that said, I've had a lot of times in the past where it has been a lot of like, what is manifestation versus fate? Like, what is actually supposed to happen versus what I'm supposed to like shoot for? How much of my life am I able to create? And I've stepped back from that and now looking into, I can't even say looking into, because I don't feel like I'm no longer a seeker. I'm literally just unraveling myself. I'm allowing myself to unfold. But as I do that, it's questions of, like, bear with me, my mind today, guys. I'm really doing my best. Yes. So it's questions around, like how much of my life have I got control over? And it's me really thinking about the fact that, like, it is me creating my life. Looking back, now that I've unveiled my own delusions within myself, now that I've unveiled where I was eluding myself, it's like I can look back and see where I put in a lot of work that I was not crediting myself for. I was thinking that I was asking the universe, and the universe was like, I guess, taking the wheel, and I was just doing the little actions to get there. But really, it was me putting in the work, and the universe was doing tremendous actions behind the scenes. Yes. But I'm also the universe. Just like you are your universe. We're all little universes inside a universe inside a universe. That inceptual. I've got a video on that as well. Go ahead and run through Inception. So, because I am the universe and I'm creating the actions outside of it, I have created this life now where, and I'm so blessed and so grateful, I've created a life now where I have placed myself outside of the whole 9 to 5 living, and I have more time and I have more space to be with myself, to actually reflect and allow and witness and be the observer to all of the unraveling that is happening within me. I have that space and I have that time. And, the wealth has not come through just yet, but the paydays are picking up. And I'm comfortable enough where I do have a little bit of extra, money to say that I can go and I can try new things. And I've made a short earlier as well. This is the longer version, but basically I was saying within the short that I realized with sitting with myself that I have spent all of my life seeking different ways that I can show up for others, how I can be for others, how I can be more for others, how I can serve in the best way possible. Trying to seek all of the gifts that I possibly have to create one package, which is me and my gifts that I can serve onto others. Constantly trying to distribute all of the beautiful, powerful energy that I have, because I just want everybody to be happy and everybody to be well and, just healthy and having a good time and enjoying life. And exactly what I was giving to others was obviously not what I was giving to myself, because I am a giver. I am a giver and I am an empath. And I was just born with so much, and this is between my own essence as well as my character, my avatar, who I am, Genesis. Between the two, I was born with a lot of just understanding and compassion and patience. And I just always saw the beauty in everything and everyone and just wanted everyone to experience that, and was always the peacemaker. And it was always that gorilla glue that kept everyone together and kept everything together, everybody smiling. And I wonder why I'm going into a tangent about that, because maybe you relate to that, like being that person who has always kept things together, who has always been the strong one. You know what I mean? But that's who I've been, and I've naturally, nobody has taught me to be that way. Do you know what I mean? And to be fair, I can say with my mom and my dad, they both are very selfless people. You know what I mean? So I can contribute some of it to that. But I think naturally as a child, I was always that child that was seen as like, she'll be fine with it. She's okay. Everything's fine. Because my mom even still makes jokes about that to this day. Like, oh, it's fine. Everything's fine. It'll be fine. Because that was like my phrase. It was like, everything's all right. In the end, all is well. You know what I mean? But constantly being the person that I felt like my whole mission was how I can show up better and better and better for everybody else, how I can serve, how I can give more. Did I give enough? Did I do enough? You know, I was constantly being that person. And now where I'm at is that God, with the help of God, the God that is within me, the universe within me, that has just surfaced and surfaced and surfaced and become, I've allowed to become more in control of my life, and I have trusted to lead me and guide me within life. With the help of tapping into home, tapping into myself, I have created this life where I have the time and I have the space and I have the money to support me doing things, not just out of survival. You know, I have the freedom and the flexibility because of the two businesses that I own. You know, I mean, they're not super flourishing. I'm self-employed, so I run both. I work hard, but it doesn't feel like work because it's things that I have chosen that not only are flexible, so they work better with me in my life, but they're things that I genuinely enjoy doing, and they're passionate, and they are tailored around serving and giving to people. So I have set myself up in life. I have created this life for myself where I have the freedom to move. I have the time and the energy and the money to all back me up to figure out what it is that I want. And what I heard clearly last night when I decided to journal. I felt called to journal. So, you know, that might be something for you. If you've been feeling called to journal, this is your confirmation. This is your sign. You need to fucking do it because, you know, even with myself, I forgot how beneficial it was with the unfolding part of my journey. And I realized that every time that I write something down, it comes into fruition. All of the books, the amount of fucking notebooks that I've got, not just poetry, I've got a mix of everything, but the things that I've been asking for, the things that I write down, it's kind of like I'm making myself a to-do list, and it gets fucking done. I do it out of clarity in the unraveling of being able to write down in my journal. So this is just a side page there, but yes, this is your sign to start journaling again. So when I started journaling last night, I started to kind of unravel the fact that, like, I'm in such a good place. I'm starting to get feelings arise, and I know that these feelings are beneficial. And I just started to writing all this down. I started to write down the fact that, like, I'm in a really good place and I know that, but I'm feeling lonely. And I know that I'm not alone because I don't feel like I'm alone. I feel like I'm always being watched and looked after and protected. But at the same time, I feel lonely. You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm back into this isolation period. So it's like, just like, as I was unraveling that and affirming that this is how I'm feeling, it just unraveled the fact that I have been serving all my life, and God has now put me in this beautiful position with all of the tools and the space that I need to figure out what I want out of life. What do I want life to give back to me? What makes life worth living for me? And the thing is that it is these questions that we're asking ourselves regularly, guys. You know, because I feel like the people that I speak to, the people who come across my videos, I don't feel like it's accidental. It's never accidental. It's never coincidental. It's always for the fact that it's always going to be something. Even if your mind doesn't absorb it, your soul can take something from this and help you to unlock yourself. So it's like, I feel like the people who run into my videos and the people who feel called to subscribe and to be within this space, the people who are leaving the comments, which I absolutely love, they mean so much more to me than they do to you. Not only because obviously it makes more interaction on my channel, but it genuinely feels like I'm reaching someone. Right now I'm just talking to my phone, but when you comment, it makes me feel like I'm serving in the best way. So thank you for that, guys. But people who feel called to subscribe and comment and like, and people who are actually staying within the space, I feel like you are these people who are just like, you serve. and you serve. And I know it gets tiring. It gets tiring, but like that is who you are, you know? And I've even, I don't know about you if you can, relate to myself, but I've even had times where I got mad at myself for being such a giver. I get mad at myself for giving so much, even in circumstances, because in the past I felt like I have, what's it called? Like I've betrayed myself sort of by overgiving. Even outside of those circumstances, obviously you're a bit upset with yourself, but you live, you learn. But even in circumstances where I'm giving a healthy amount, I sometimes get mad because I'm just like, why do I always feel the need to want to give? Like, why? Do you know what I mean? Why am I doing all of this? Am I doing too much? Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you can relate, but this is just where I was at. And now I see the beauty in it. I see the beauty in my giving, and I see the beauty in the giving of others outside of me, and never doubt that quality, never resent that quality. It's a beautiful quality to have. But now it's about obviously giving to yourself, which is very cliche. It's about giving that energy back to yourself, but it's about figuring out what it is that you actually want to experience out of life. What do you want to get out of life? How can life give back to you? And when I say experience now, this goes back to what I was saying about manifestation versus fate. What can I create out of my reality versus what is actually fated for me? Yeah. So, oh, sorry guys, little brain fart. Yes, when it comes to experience. So, with the experience side of things, when you are trying to like manifest, but you don't know how specific to be because you don't know, like, are you taking yourself away from something because you're being too specific, or you're taking yourself into this direction and you're laser focused on this, but you're fated for this. You know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense, guys. We need to get back to how we feel, because how we feel is not only our indicator for whether we're getting closer to God or straying away from God, but it's also our indicator for what it is that we actually want to experience. The experience that I'm talking about is the feeling. So I was talking to my friend earlier, shout out to Nikki. But I was talking to my friend earlier, and we do videos back and forth. She's literally halfway across the world and I love her. She's my soul sister. But she's halfway across the world, and we're both moms. And when we get time we send each other video just saying, hey, catching each other up. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm at on my spiritual journey. How are you? And then we just reply to each other. So as I'm going back and forth with Nikki, I'm saying to her, and I just gave her this example about the feeling, me being in this space where I am able to try new things, to allow these new feelings, these experiences of feelings to come in, right? I said, I've never played hockey before, and I've never surfed before, right? So I don't really know which one is going to bring me that manifested feeling, right? To experience that manifested feeling. But in doing both, I've already kind of allowed the experience of newness in order to allow the experience of the feeling that I am manifesting. So if I try hockey and I try surfing, and I'm like, yeah, I got something from both of them. So I got greater than what I was trying to manifest because I got the newness to trying both. I opened myself up to both experiences. But let's say I like surfing more because of the way that the ocean makes me feel. So hopefully that makes sense. So when you are manifesting, it's about being really specific about what it is that you'd like to feel and feeling into that. And that allows you, and listen carefully, that allows you to detach from the outcome of what's coming, but it allows a 10x of how you're meant to feel, because you've completely released and surrendered and trusted that your spirit, your God, your universe inside of you is going to lead you to that feeling experience, you know? So the crazy thing is that we can allow our egos to get in the way, because let's say, for example, like with love, you want to manifest someone that, you know, looks this way, talks this way, dresses this way, or they get along with your family this way, da 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 da, right? But imagine you manifest someone like that, but you're not able to connect with the depth of the relationship. Like the relationship can't even reach the depths that it's supposed to reach, because you didn't focus on manifesting the feeling. You focused on manifesting everything outside of the feeling and how you felt that the puzzle should really come together, versus what you actually really wanted to experience on a sensory level. The thing is that as somebody who is an empath and is compassionate and understanding, and I am very much a deep feeler and thinker, it's like I have experienced people in the past where, like, I guess if I was on an ego level, I don't feel like I would be super attracted to them, but I was so satiated by the magnetism that we had, and that's because I wanted the feeling. I was going after the feeling. I wasn't chasing how it was going to fit in and slot in my life, and you know what I mean. So when it comes to the whole fate versus manifestation, I want to say, go with the feeling, go with what, and this is my new truth, you guys, is that I just want to be as human as possible. You know, my ego, when I first started out with spirituality, I wanted to, you know, I'd love for people to see me as this spiritual being, and, you know, the whole aesthetic of it. And, oh, you know, I mean, she's so, oh, the energy about her, oh, the aura. Do you get what I mean? And it's like, no, I just want to be seen as human. I just want to be as human as possible, as I want to experience things so deeply on a sensational level that I really don't give a fuck about what actually comes. I'm so far detached from that. So all of that to say, with manifestation, you want to tap into the feeling of anything. The feeling is the experience. Remember that you are the experience, but you are the feeler. You're the one processing this. You are the observer, experiencing the processing that is being processed through your physical being, through your human experience. You get me? This is veering all over the place, guys, but just know that if you are in a space where you are feeling like you keep being pulled back into isolation, just understand that there are greater parts there for you to uncover. Understand that if you are someone, there's multiple messages in here. So second message, understand that if you are someone who is always of service, start to use that isolation time to reflect on what you want out of life, how you can feel larger than life is what I'm hearing in my head. Like what in life is going to make you feel trying to unravel it, sorry. What is going to bring you the most joy? What is going to bring you the most sensation? What is going to allow you to have those feeling experiences on a very deep and euphoric level? Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I think that's it. I don't know. It was a lot in there, but I love y'all so much. I really hope that you could have taken something from this video. If you feel, if you feel called to, like, subscribe, share, comment, definitely comment, even if it's just a heart. Give me a black heart in the comments if you made it to this point, just so that I know that you're there. Helps me to to really feel like I'm making an impact on someone. But yeah, numbers that I've been seeing as well. I've been seeing a lot of fours. So triple four, quadruple four. I've seen 414 as well. This morning I saw 808 and what's it called? 808, 711, 222, 333. So yeah, it's a lot of freaking numbers, but obviously it's meant to reach quite a few people. Anyway, I love y'all so much. My God, it was 25 when I looked up. But yeah, I love y'all. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.